And next is cold email outreach. So essentially, I'm going to go through all of the outreach methods we're going to be talking about in today's video. I'm going to touch on them, tell you a little bit about how to do them, why they work, how to structure them, and then I'm going to give you examples, templates, and things to provide you with stuff that you can actually use. So step number 1 is to scrape email addresses. In order to email your prospects, you'll need the email address that goes directly to them, okay? Not to any other team or not to just a general business, but to them. As covered in the prospecting section, their email can be found through Instagram, YouTube, or LinkedIn using the Apollo.io Google Chrome extension. Pro tip here, ensure you're using an email address to actually outreach to people that is quote unquote warmed up and has good deliverability. Otherwise, your outreach emails will be landing in spam. So what this means, you're going to want to use ideally the email that you've been using for the last couple of years to actually do your real email talking to people. What you don't want to do is create a brand new email and then send like 20 emails per day, because what that's going to do is put you in people's spam folders and they're not going to see your emails. So hopefully your email address isn't like noobdestroyer69420. Hopefully, okay? Like count your lucky stars here. But if you do have one that's actually passable in a business environment, then I implore you to use that one. If you do have to use a brand new email account because your email address just doesn't cut it, I recommend looking into ways to warm up that email and increase the email deliverability over a long period of time so that you don't end up in their spam folder. Step number 2 is to send an email opener and offer value in the same email as well. Okay, so like I said, email is a little bit more compact, so you want to send the opener and the value offer in the same email. When crafting an initial email, it's important to be as personal as possible while making the email look important from the outside and being witty/personable on the inside. At the end of your email, always give a strong value offer that's easy to say yes to. Okay, so kind of like we talked about in Instagram. Step 2.5 is to deploy a follow-up sequence if the initial email doesn't get replied to. As you will soon learn in the follow-up section, follow-up is one of the most important parts of outreach that most people end up neglecting. Following up from different angles over time is by far the best way to show business owners that you have hustle and are worth giving a chance to. Follow-up is literally almost just as, if not more important than just outreach. And it's part of the reason why a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, I tried outreach or I tried to outreach to people and it didn't work. It's like, dude, your follow-up is not dialed in. Nothing you're doing is dialed in. So don't think that you can just go here and think, like, the thoughts in your mind shouldn't be, well, how do I get away with not doing this step? How do I get away with not doing this step? Because that's what most people think. They go out there and try it. It doesn't work for them because they're not completing the steps. They didn't finish the whole free course. They didn't actually do any of the action steps. So what happens is they learn bits and pieces of information. They go out there with what they have. They give some half effort and then nothing ends up happening. So I don't want that to be you. So again, put in the work and actually have the discipline to follow through. Step number 3 is to give the value and pitch the call. Once your prospect emails you back saying they love your work, send your link to book a call. Super simple. And then next is the video intro DM method. This is one that literally worked for me like a charm back in the day. It's how I got all of my high paying clients. So step number 1 is to send an opener on Instagram as stated in the Instagram openers. Okay, nothing new here. Step number 2, okay, instead of just texting them saying that you want to give them value, you send a video introducing yourself, pitching value, or a call. Okay, so there's a few things to note here. Okay, so you have a few options, quite a lot of options. So option number 1 is to send them a video. Option number 2 is to send them a voice note. Okay, it doesn't have to be a video. It can also be a voice note. For whatever reason, if you don't like showing your face or something, you can also just send them a voice note. It's not going to be as effective as a video, mind you, but it will still and can still be effective. So you're going to send them some sort of video or voice note. And in the video or voice note, you essentially just introduce who you are. You talk about what you do, and you talk about how you can help them. And then you either pitch them the call or you pitch them the value. Okay, so you can say, if this is something you're interested in, you can DM me back, we can talk about it, and we can hop on a call and talk about if this could work for your business. Option 2 is you say, I created a longer form Loom video, or I created a sample sales page, or I created a email sequence sample that I could send to you. Just let me know, give me the word, and it'll be in your inbox in a few minutes. Peace. That's basically it. Look presentable and be articulate. This is super important because the reason why this works so well and why it's going to set you apart from everybody else is because you are not just texting them. Everybody else just wants to text. They want to hide behind their phone. They don't want to actually get out there and do it. But you showing that you're articulate shows that you're competent. And people want to work with people who have a strong grasp of the English language and sound like they're competent and sound like they're articulate, because this is going to boost your social proof and your perceived authority. Next, you want to send them prospect a video of you explaining how you can help them. Very simple. I'm going to go over some examples as you'll see shortly, but dude, don't overthink this step. The script that I used is super simple. It's extremely simple. It's so simple that it feels like it won't actually work, but it actually does. Next, step number 3 is we want to give the value or pitch the call. At the end of the 60-second video, pitch them some free value or a call and talk about how you can help them. Again, examples coming up, but simple. And then another one, we have the Loom outreach method. Okay, I call this an outreach method, but essentially it's just a method of giving value, a value giving method. So step number 1 is to go through your prospect's funnel, meaning all the steps of their funnel to get you to buy, all their marketing, looking for things that you can improve. So things like sales pages or sales page copy, or things like email sequences and email copy. Step number 2 is to record and send your Loom video as value, and then pitch the call. Record a Loom video that's less than 4 minutes and cover some things that can help them in their marketing. Okay, so that was the overview of what outreach looks like. Now I'm going to talk about value offers, okay? Things that you can offer them, what that will look like. So number 1, we have a free email sequence. So this usually looks like a 3 email sequence that you wrote for them that showcases your copywriting ability and your ability to mimic their voice. One of the biggest objections that people are going to have is, well, I don't know if you can actually sound like me, okay? Because if you send out emails, but it doesn't sound like them, you're going to hate it and not going to want to use them. But if you create really good, actually good emails and that they like, then, why wouldn't they just use that for their list? Why wouldn't they just use that? And now you're going to be their copywriter in the future once they love your writing. Super simple. Next is a free sales page example. So a Word document that represents what it would look like if you wrote the copy for their sales page. Examples coming up. And then next is a Loom video funnel audit. So creating effective Loom video audits comes down to these 3 things. Providing an alternative to them, so giving them value. A lot of these can also be combined. So sometimes I'll even write them a free sales page and then create a Loom showing them what their sales page used to look like in a sales page that I've written for them. Number 2 is giving proof behind your claims. That's super important. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. This is a huge problem and a huge issue that I see people do is they say, it would be better if you did this. It would be better that you did this. But yes, tell them why and show them why in your actual Loom video. This is super important. Again, methods coming up. Next is being articulate and showcasing your competency and hunger. Super important, bro. Super important. I tell everybody, especially my private students that are one-to-one, bro, just take a month and do like 20 Loom videos in the month. Like your goal should be to do as many Loom videos as you can, because it's going to help you in so many different ways. It's going to help you on sales calls because you're becoming more articulate on camera. It's going to help you in your camera presence. It's going to help you in your confidence. It's also going to help you in just your copywriting in general, in your marketing. It's going to help you actually know how to provide value and provide an alternative and give people stuff that's actually valuable. And you might get a client out of it. You might get a client out of it. So just record the Loom videos, and people usually stall on this step. It's very unlikely that a lot of people are going to do this. And remember, only about 1% of people are actually going to finish the video, let alone start outreaching, let alone actually do a Loom video. So this is where you're going to be essentially one of one. Nobody else is going to want to do this. These are the only outreach methods that you need. Don't overcomplicate it. Okay, look, you're going to do these outreach methods, and chances are, because it's the first time you've done them, it's going to feel clunky. They're not going to work. They're not going to quote unquote work. You might not get a client right away. And you're going to be like, these aren't working for me. I'm going to look for another copywriting client outreach method. Dude, the fact of the matter is these are the only outreach methods you need. Sure, there are other things out there, but bro, if you know these ones work and you know that all the 4D copywriters are making tons of money, you can go out and look for them. You can go out and look for the secret outreach method, but I'm warning you, you're not going to find it. There is no super secret outreach method that works every time. It's going to just land clients in your lap. It's not about that. Like I've already showed you, it really does have to come down to how great your value is. Imagine writing some insane email copy and sending that out for free to clients, or creating an awesome video where you look great, you're presentable, you're articulate, you look like a professional, and you're also giving them tons and tons of value. Imagine doing that over and over again. It would literally be impossible for you not to get a client. But the only problem is your skill isn't there yet. So build the skill of copywriting and the skill of outreach at the same time. And then eventually give it a couple weeks, maybe even a couple months. And bro, you're going to be laughing to the bank, dude. That's literally all it takes. If you're watching this right now and you want to change your life, like 2K a month, 3K a month, 4K a month is usually all people need to actually change their lives. That's what you need to, whatever it is, quit college or show the people in your life that it actually works, that you're not just wasting your time, but you're really making money with this, or even quit your 9-to-5 job. So all I have to say, do not overcomplicate this. Warning. Beware of beginner brain. I think this is kind of like the rant I just went on. Okay, so yeah, don't ask these questions, because when you ask these questions to like the Discord or just like in general, it makes you look like a newbie. So saying things like, any tips? Hey guys, I'm 1 month in. Any tips? Or hey man, I'm about to start this copywriting thing. Any tips? My friend, I just recorded whatever it is, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours of copywriting sauce for you. Those are my tips. You don't need any more tips. I just gave you all of my tips, my friend. Next, what's the best outreach method? This is crazy. The best outreach method is just the one that you stick to. Like just pick one, do it over and over and over again, and build the skill. Okay. There is no one outreach method that's extremely way better than the next outreach method. How long does it usually take to get clients? Dude, obviously it varies for everybody. It varies on how long you've been doing it, your effort doing it, and also there's a little bit of luck in the short term, but the best way to mitigate luck is to just do it in the long term, and that's it. Now, another pro tip for you guys that everybody's going to want to know is do not copy templates word for word. This is going to kill your outreach, and you're going to be thinking, oh, well, dude, I did the exact thing, but I'm telling you right now, you can't do the exact thing. You have to use your brain to come up with something a little bit different. Steal the ideas and not the words. Let me read it. Steal the ideas and not the words themselves. If you copy and paste outreaches without changing them drastically, you're putting yourself at a huge disadvantage, because you'll likely be sending something that they've already seen. And this is a huge problem that everybody does, okay? The way that I myself mitigate it as a creator is I give people so many templates that hopefully, even if they copy one or copy and paste one, that not everybody is going to be doing it, but still. Because when you send out your outreach and people have already seen it, like you're just looking like a noob. You're looking like a noob, and nobody, I promise you, nobody is going to want to work with you because they've seen your stuff already. So what you're going to want to do is change it. Steal the ideas and not the words. Now we're going to be going through some examples and templates to show you what this actually looks like. So here are some cold email templates. Here's a whole sequence. Let's check it out. I feel the urge to say that all this stuff, again, is going to be inside of the free copy starter kit that you can get down below. It's in the link in the description. All of this stuff is going to be in here together. You can access it all and make copies for yourself. And also with all these, you're going to want to, again, make a copy. Don't request access. You can go up here to file and then make a copy, and then you can edit it on your own. So remember that as well. So the email type number 1 is the anti-professionalism email. So with the first email, guys, it's super important. You don't sound like a robot. You don't just make a really dry offer. You don't send a super dry email. It has to be different. It has to be witty. It has to be funny. It has to be something interesting. But the reason why, man, is because, again, these people are getting emailed all the time. And it essentially looks like, hey, man, if we don't get you an extra 1 million views in the next 60 days, you're not going to pay us because we're really good at editing videos and blah, 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 blah. Like, it's so stupid. It's dumb. And everybody gets those, and it's just dry and boring. Here's the thing. Here's your superpower. Your superpower is that you are a one-of-one person, not like a special snowflake. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about you're the only person with your exact DNA and experiences and understandings and stories. So you have to use that in your outreach. That is your superpower. Biggest lesson right here is to just sum it all into one thing. Different is better than better. As long as you use all the principles that I'm teaching you here and you come off as different and witty and understandable, this is going to work. So using things like GIFs, right? These work very well. Witty lines, funny images, and we offer a little video. Email type number 2. Now I'm going to show you examples of all these as we go through, but I want to show you the types first. Is the borrowed authority email. So this is where you point out what a top marketer is doing. You explain why it's working, and you give them a CTA around how you can help. Super simple. Email type number 3 is a straight to the point email. This is 3 to 6 lines. You add in some risk reversal, or you give them permission to say no and alleviate sales pressure. Show you how to do that. And you show that you respect their time. So this is like a short, punchy, done email. We don't be witty. We don't be funny. We just give it to them straight. Here's the brass tacks. Email number 4 is the breakup email. Okay. These are follow-ups that get a lot of replies. This will be your last email, the last email that I send you. And this will be their best chance to check out your value. People want things that they can't have. People want things that are running away from them, like a dog chasing a car. I know that's not a human, but again, humans have the same thing. So what you're going to want to do, and this again also gives them like urgency and scarcity. What you want to do is tell them that you made them something, but say like, my drive is filling up, so I'm about to delete the thing that I'm talking about giving you. So this would be my last email. If you don't don't want it, just message me back, let me know. But if you're even willing to check it out, let me know and I can send it right over. All right, later. That's basically what it looks like. Again, examples coming up. The email number 5 is to circle back if declined. So acknowledge then wasn't the right time and give a light CTA on how you can help them in their new promo/offer. Okay, so what this looks like is if someone says no to you or they say they already have somebody, that's someone you're always going to want to circle back with. One of the best responses you can get as a copywriter is, we already have somebody for that. That is a great response. Most people think that's an L. Dude, that's a huge W. You want to know why? Because that person is not going to stay there forever. Think about the span of a year. And I understand you guys might not have a super personal experience with this, but me as a business owner, I very much do. Over a year, people change positions. Either they move up in the company or they move to a better company. It's very, very, very rare that you'll see somebody stay with a company for literally the whole entirety of that company and they'll do the exact same position forever. They usually move up somehow. And when they move up, they need somebody to replace them. And all you need to be is top of mind, which we're going to talk about more. You need to be the person that's going to be the obvious choice to actually work with them. So that's basically it. If they say they have somebody already, then you want to circle back with them. And circling back essentially means you're going to email them 1 month, 2 months, 3 months later. Again, you never just let these guys go and just never reply to them, especially if they've already replied to you. That shows that they're open to your offer. If they say yes and they actually look at your offer value, then that's great too. Because again, all that means is that this time around, it's just not the right time. But when it is the right time, you're going to know who to email. You're going to email them and they're going to get back to you. So some examples, the anti-professional email. So here are some subject lines that I had. Goodwill name, got to give you credit, first name. And first name, you just helped me get a W. So all of these are something that people are going to want to open, and because they're curiosity based, and also it uses their name so they know that it's personal and not just a spam email. Hey, whatever their first name is, scrolled your Instagram, binged a few reels, and I've been using some of your sales advice lately. This is, for example, if it was a sales guy. So notice, this wouldn't work if I sent it to some fitness dude. This wouldn't work if I sent it to some relationship dating coach. It's only going to work for this one specific dude whose name is whatever his name is, Jim, and he has sales advice. I've been watching your sales advice lately and can say your content genuinely helped me close a deal. So now I want to give you this. And this is an Uno reverse card. Now, again, this is the witty part. This is me being witty, and you shouldn't do the exact same thing, because if you do the exact same thing, it's not going to work. But as you can see, this is a Uno reverse card I essentially made in Photoshop in like 3 seconds. So it says Uno reverse card. You helped me make money. Now I want to help you make money. Now, again, this is just like funny and witty. I did an audit, meaning like an overview of your funnel, and noticed some leads could be slipping through the cracks. So I recorded a quick 4-minute Loom video showing you how you can, and then I give them some bullets. Increase conversions, generate more sales with your automations, and make more money, all without taking any extra work or time on your end. If you're open to seeing the video I recorded for you, say sure, and I'll send it over. If not, that's cool too. Just let me know. Talk soon. So a few things to point out here, and this is how you're going to craft your outreach email sequence overall. I did an audit of your funnel. Notice how I say I recorded the quick 4-minute video. So I let them know that it's a quick video, so it's easy to consume. It's not super long. I told them that I already recorded it. Okay, so it's already done. So let me know if I should send it over. I gave them bullets on what the video is about and how it's going to help them. And I also reversed an objection, which is, okay, but I don't want to spend extra time or money on this. But all without any extra work or time on your end. If you're open to seeing the video I recorded for you, say sure and I'll send it over. That's basically it. Say sure and I'll send it over, making it easy for them to reply. If not, that's cool. Just let me know. When I say like, if not, that's cool, just let me know. Again, this is something that you're going to want to put because it decreases neediness. You always want to decrease neediness as much as possible. You don't want to be a needy person. So now we're going on to email number 2, which is the borrowed authority email. Now, borrowing authority is something that you can use in every step of your outreach. Okay. Borrowing authority is super important. So if I'm outreaching to a big fitness professional, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to say, hey man, if you changed your page to look like this, or just to make these changes, it would make you a lot more money. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find somebody who's already making a ton more money than him and is at the top of their game. I'm going to say, look, your sales page is like this. If you made your sales page like this, or your emails like his, you're going to be able to make more money for yourself. This guy's already killing it. So you're not trusting me. You're not trusting my judgment. You're not trusting me. You're trusting this other guy. And I can help you get your marketing like this other guy that you already know and you already see as an authority. Super important. It's just really important to give all of your claims justifications, not just by borrowed authority, but every single claim justifications. And this is, again, why it's important to understand copywriting, because we already talked about justifications in the copywriting section. You apply everything you know in copywriting to outreach, dude, it's done. It's done. It's all just a skill game, bro. And chances are you are highly skilled at something, whether it be chess, whether it be playing an instrument, even if it's a video game, dude. Like I've played certain video games that were way harder than copywriting or making money online. So that is all a bunch of things to keep in mind. This is all possible for you. Hey, first name, reaching out to you because of your sales page. I recorded a quick 3-minute video for you that will help you make more sales with just a couple of tweaks. The video shows how you can use the same marketing systems as Alex Hormozi and other top marketers to increase your conversions. Cool if I send it over? So notice how this one is shorter, simpler, more to the point, and less with witty and funny angle. Now, important to note, again, another important to note, everybody's going to be different. Some people are going to respond to you being witty and they're going to like it and they're going to laugh and they're going to think it's cool. Other people are going to be like, that's dumb. I don't want to reply to this. Everybody's just different. Every business owner is different, just like every person is different. So by coming at it with different angles each and every time, you essentially cover all your bases and you give yourself the best chance of actually getting a reply and working with that said client. Next is a straight to the point email. I value your time, so I'll get straight to the point. I recorded a Loom video you can watch in 3 minutes. In this video, I show you how you can squeeze more conversions from your sales page and potentially earn a healthy increase to your bottom line with zero extra work. Open to checking it out, reply with the word yes, and I'll send it over. If not, that's cool too. Just let me know later. That's it. Super short, simple, to the point. Number 4 is the breakup/last chance email. Hey, first name, I've sent you a few emails about how you can get more conversions on your sales page, but you've gone cold. So this is the last email on the subject, and I'll take down the Loom video I recorded for you shortly after I send this email. So by all means, if you're open to watching the video I recorded for you on how you can improve your headline and make more sales, reply to this email saying yes, and I'll send it right over. If not, I wish you luck in everything you do. Okay. And this one gets so many replies, you would be genuinely mind blown. You'd be flabbergasted, my friends. And then finally, we have the circle back if declined. So this is again like a month later or something. Hey, name, long time no see. I saw that you recently launched whatever their update or product is. Maybe they're running a challenge. Maybe they're running some sort of promotion. Maybe they're running a sale. And you should be the one to, if you just make this observation, it shows, again, that you're a consumer of their content and it gives you a better chance of getting them to reply because it is relevant. So I saw that you launched/updated their product and was wondering if you'd be open to seeing some ways I can add value to what you're doing. And then here are some examples that I could add. Would you be against me sending you free value to help with your product? So whatever, a Loom video, a free sales page, whatever it is, would you be against me sending that? That's number 1. And number 2 would be like, hey, name, I know we haven't talked in a minute, but I saw you started doing whatever the marketing operation is that you can help them. So like Instagram, promo stories, email marketing, et cetera, and was wondering if you'd be open to seeing some ways I could bring value to that. Would you be against having a really quick Instagram call about it? All super simple. So again, the structure here is the opener plus offer value. Then you give them the value and then you pitch the call. So in the Loom video itself, again, examples coming up, I'm going to show you the actual Loom videos that I've sent out to get actual clients. But the Loom video contents essentially look like this. Here's the things that you can critique. Their page headlines, so their opt-in page or their sales page headlines. Remember, we literally went over headlines and I gave you over 100 sample headlines and sales pages in previous sections. So you're going to want to check those out and make sure that you watch them. Next is their email copy. So again, we went deep into email copywriting, and you've watched me critique tons of emails by this point. So you're going to be able to critique their emails similarly. And then next is their email automations/deliverability. Okay, we're going to talk about that more as we go on. And of course, I have some exercises here that you can do if you would like. Man, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy Tyson4D, and today I have a treat for you guys because we are going to be looking at the exact Instagram DMs that I and my students have sent in order to get clients. So if you want to get clients just like us, all you really got to do is copy us. So let's check it out. So I'm basically just going to go DM by DM here. So as you can see here, we have somebody here with a verified account. They were verified back when it actually meant something. 123,000 followers, 500 plus posts. Long story short, this is not a small Instagram account. A reason why I point that out is because, people have the preconceived notion that, man, nobody's going to answer my DMs. Nobody who's over like 100K followers or nobody with a lot of followers is actually going to be looking at my messages. Well, nothing could be farther from the truth. So let's check it out. I basically just said, hey, I just want to reach out and show my appreciation for the content. A lot of real estate and wealth gems. Keep up the great work, right? So that was my opener. That was my compliment. That was my thing. It wasn't even really that great of a compliment because it wasn't that specific. I basically just said great real estate and wealth gems. If I would have gone back, I would have given a better opener. But again, this is when I was still developing my strategy. And as you can see, they said, thanks, man. How much do you charge for some email copy sequences? Really just that much. I didn't even bring up copywriting. I didn't even bring up emails. He literally brought it up first. Why is this? This is because I had my profile set up right. So when you have your profile set up right, what you do, how you do it, who you've helped before in the past, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. but this is what can happen. Just send out an opener and someone already wants to hire you. So let's check it out. He said, how much do I charge? I said, highly dependent on the project, really. Is email marketing something you're looking to outsource? Also, this comes down to skill and principles as well. When it comes down to price, you usually don't want to be super upfront about it because it literally does very much depend. Like, he's going to ask how much I charge per email copy sequence, and there's not really a set amount. Like, what if it's 5? What if it's 10? It depends on how long he wants the emails, what kind of emails there are, what I already got on the go. So it's highly dependent, just like I say here. He says, yes, I have a couple events coming and a course I'm putting together, a couple other things I need for it also. So then I just sent him my Calendly link right here. Okay, if you're open to it, let's schedule a quick chat and we could talk about some things. So I believe we got on a chat and then we emailed each other back and forth afterwards. So he said, okay, so for the event ticket sales, we would want 5. For the after event / offer upsell, we would want 15. So that's 20 emails right there. For my real estate agent, I'd want a welcome sequence to try to get them to send me business. 16 emails for that one. So already we're at 20 plus 16, that's 36 emails. For my leads that come in from social media to inquire about mortgages to join my community, I want a welcome sequence / nurture campaign of about 16 again. So that's over 50 emails. I'd want a revival campaign for my current database also. Not sure how many emails are in that sequence. What's your best pricing you can do for all this? I'm going to show you actually how to do all of these sequences, like welcome sequences, promotion sequences, and also the revival campaign as well. I'll show you exactly how to do those in the secondary skills section. But these are the things that he's asking for. So again, now that you guys have this free course, all you got to do is go out there and outreach to people. They're going to tell you what they need, and you're going to have an easy idea of how to do all of it. So he said that's what he needs. I said, hey, wasn't sure if you saw my email, so I figured I'd send it out here as well. Like I said on the call, I usually do emails for $150 each, which would make the total $8,550 for over 50 emails. But because it's a pretty big chunk of emails, I think a discount would be fair, so I can do $100 per each, which is totaling to $5,700. Let me know your thoughts. So I pitched him on $5,700 for like 60 emails or 50 or 60 or however it was. He said, got it. Overall, it's over the budget we had planned for this. And it's a big project commitment without really seeing if you can put together email copy that would be good for our industry and campaigns. What's the best you can do for maybe one sequence of 8 emails going for my realtor campaign? I said, hey man, totally understandable. That's a big commitment without seeing what I can do. I think a smaller, low risk project is the way to go for now, just to see if we're a good fit to work together. Would an 8 email sequence for $400 interest you? And he said, yeah, let's go with that. 8 sounds perfect. So 8 emails, $400. That's less than I usually charge. But again, it's a big fish on the reel, and he could be potentially paying me thousands of dollars for like over 60 emails. So this is a big chunk of work, which is absolutely awesome. Love this deal. So some things to note here. When we were negotiating, right, this is all negotiation skills, all of it right here. And as a beginner, it's tough to teach you to negotiate because again, I can't script out every conversation for you, but just look at all these conversations, take inspiration, take notes, and take notes on the things that I've actually say and the things that I'm doing. So essentially he gives me an objection. The objection is that it's over budget for what we had planned, and I don't know if your copy is good yet or if it's going to work for us yet. First and foremost, I agree, right? And this is how you handle any objection. You agree first. Totally understandable. That's a big commitment without seeing what I can do. Now that alleviates the sales pressure, because his worst fear is that I'm going to be like, no, it's not. Like, dude, I'm actually giving you a crazy good deal. What are you talking about over budget? And then that just creates friction, and then nobody likes being in that situation. So I say that's a good idea. I think a smaller, low risk project is the way to go for now. So let's see if we're a good fit to work together. Again, not show you what I can do, show you that I'm a really good copywriter, bro. See if we're a good fit to work together, because I'm qualifying you just as much as you are qualifying me. Would an 8 email sequence for $400 interest you? He said, yeah, that's awesome. So I made the price even lower. I made it basically as low risk as possible. So the outreach method that I used here was basically nothing. I had a good profile. I showed him some good copywriting portfolios, and I had good negotiation skills. That was the outreach method. That was basically it. So this still does happen, and people love to say, oh, Instagram's oversaturated, real estate coaches are oversaturated, or coaches are oversaturated, or people online, entrepreneurs are oversaturated. Dude, all I did was say, dude, you have good stuff. And he wanted to deal with me, and this was a money producing deal. When you're spending time around this space or any space with anything to make money online, people are going to try it, meaning they come up to one obstacle, and then as soon as they in the face of an obstacle, they don't actually figure out how to overcome it. They just say, didn't work. I'm literally showing people right here the screenshots and the receipts. I'm showing the receipts of how it works. So $3,000 per month retainer client from consistent Instagram follow-up. That's what this one's called. So, hey man, this is really smart marketing. You always think outside the box. That's what I just replied to their story. He said, hey man, appreciate it. Do you own a coaching business too? Or are you thinking about starting one? So this is way before I owned a coaching business. I said, no, actually, but I was looking to speak to, first name of the actual business, about how I could add value to him. I assume this is one of his chat closers / setters. Would you happen to know any way that I could contact him directly? And then they basically didn't answer. He said something else on his story where it's like, hey man, if you guys want this, let me know by DMing me. So I said, yo, send over the link. And then he replied saying, hey bro, it's me now. You can directly contact me here. And then he gives me the link to what I asked for back here. And then I sent him a video intro DM. This video intro DM, super simple. All I said was, hey, how's it going? My name is Tyson. You don't actually know me, but I'm creating this quick video for two main reasons. One is because I wanted to stand out. I know you probably get outreaches too, or people, contacting you on a daily basis. So I wanted to be different, come on camera and just, so you can put a name to a face. And two, because essentially I'm a digital marketer. Not sure if it's something you need right now, but essentially I can help you get more sales by pushing more people through your sales funnel with things like copywriting and marketing. If that's something you'd be even open to hearing, let me know and we can talk about it more in the DMs. So what you're gonna want to do is not copy the exact words that I just used because they've been copied and pasted like crazy. It worked really, really well when I was first doing it. But again, since I share these videos and these videos are literally just in the copy starter kit that you can just watch, because I do that, it's like so many people have already done it. Okay. So again, you're going to want to think outside of the box. And I also put their name on the video so that in the thumbnail, they can see that the video is addressed to them. And then he says, I'm good. Thanks, bro. I said, all good, man. Let me know if anything changes. And then afterwards, I replied to their story again. And on their story was essentially them saying that they're hiring salespeople. So I said, hey, was wondering if you were still looking for top tier talent. He said, you can apply here. And that was for the sales position, but I didn't want a sales position. So I said, hey, I was wondering if you're looking for copywriting or marketing talent. He said, I am hiring for talent in our marketing team right now, but full-time, not a contractor. So I said, right. Perfect. Who's the right person to send information to and have a talk with? And then I replied to a story again. And then I replied to a story again. I'm pretty sure I emailed him after this and he sent me to one of the people on his marketing team. That's what happened. Looking forward to watching some more of the content. I was telling my other client, okay, yeah. And then this is just me saying to him that I was working with another client, so I would have to start with him later. I said, I was telling my other client about having to leave and they asked if I could finish up this project because it would really help them out. Is it cool if I start working with him in a week or two? And that's basically it. That's how it went. And this guy essentially was a $3K a month client. And that's basically all it was. And then this is another client that's closed on call. This is someone with 147,000 followers and 6.6K posts. Wait, how many followers did this guy have? It doesn't actually say, but he had over 100,000 followers. And then this guy, 147,000 followers. And this is straight gold. I never thought about it this way before. That's all I said to his story. He said, this is why we have to change the way we think. Appreciate your support. Don't even know what it was. Don't know what the story was. But as you can see, very, very, very simple story reply. That's all it was, a very simple story reply. If you guys are thinking that this is rocket science or it's going to be super difficult, dude, anybody with half a brain can do the exact steps that I'm doing right here to get these $2,000, $3,000 deals. So then he said thanks and I let him marinate for a couple of days and then I hit him with the video intro DM. Again, this is the video of me saying the exact things that I said last time. So what's going on, Tyson? I appreciate you making this video and I am open to entertaining your offered services. Boom. Just like that. I said, hey, I see you have an email list and some programs plus events. Do you currently have anyone on your team handling the marketing side of things? He didn't answer. So I followed up. Hey, I realize you're probably pretty busy and don't check your DMs that much. Would you be open to hopping on a quick 7-minute call? Come up with some ways to generate some extra revenue for you. No pushy sales call or anything. So feel free to leave your credit card at home. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because it alleviates sales pressure. There's no pushy sales call. You don't have to buy anything. It's just talking about if this is something that could help you. That's it. He says, hello, Tyson. I have some time today. Send him over the link. And I said, sounds good. You can pick up a time here. And then we got on a call. It was really that simple. First 2K client from DM to email outreach. Oh, yes. This was my first. So this one was through DM. I DM'd him essentially in outreach and he said, too busy. Email this person. So I emailed that person and this is basically what we got to. Hi, Tyson. Great to meet you. Would love to see the email samples. Thanks. And then I sent them over. They said, thanks for sending over the emails. Questions. Do you have a portfolio you can send over? And do you write other types of copy besides emails? And I said, hey, I do have a link to some of my work. I sent her my portfolio. And yes, I also write sales page copy as well. Here's the link if you're open to discuss any ideas or small projects we could work on. See if we'd be a good fit. They say, hey, Tyson, awesome. Thanks. I booked a call with you and our content strategist and myself. We have a small project we'd like to discuss. And And then they said, hey, it was great to meet you yesterday. As promised, you should expect the NDA, non-disclosure agreement, which basically means, I can't talk about them directly or share any sensitive information. So I sent that over to you for some email sometime today. Please let me know once you've signed and we'll send you over the brief and necessary resources. Also, I'm curious, how much do you typically quote per email? It's funny because she's literally asking after we already made the deal, after I've decided I'm going to take on the work. Now she's asking, how much do you quote per email? I said, hey, it was a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Just looked over and signed the NDA and we'll get started on those documents and creating the emails. My typical quote is $200. Hey, Tyson, sounds good. Thanks for confirming. Please send over email copy before tomorrow. Looks forward to seeing what you produce. That was a 10 email sequence for $2,000. Each email probably took me around 30, 40 minutes, and that's it. Again, to make $2,000 during my 9-to-5 job, that would take me a month. That would take me a month. This would take me a couple days at most. Like really doing my research and working hard, this would take me a couple days. Now, not only me, but now I wanted to showcase one of my personal student, Jay's first client. So he literally just sent them over a email sequence as value. So he did the whole opener and then he sent this over as value. Then she said, okay, these are so good. Thank you so much. I may have a project for you. Paid. Haha. Then he says, thank you. I'd love to hear about it. Are you happy to message back and forward, or did you want to hop on a quick Zoom call? She said, we can just message back and forth. I'm just waiting for my flight to take off, so I'll send you the details now. I have a client in an executive coaching space currently doing a rebrand for her business. I will need to set up 3 different welcome sequences, different audiences / pillars of her business with 3 emails each. I'd love to find someone to get this all set up for me. Ideally, the copywriting and design / setup of Kajabi templates, but I can always find someone to help me on the design side of things. Let me know if this is something you might be interested in. Then Jay says, oh, perfect. This sounds like an awesome project. And fortunately, I'm familiar with the Kajabi too. Absolutely love to get more details once you're landed and settled in. That was that. So dudes are landing clients on Instagram left and right. So again, don't let anybody tell you oversaturated, it doesn't work anymore. Like it's just nonsense. These are people who are upset because again, they've reached an obstacle that they don't feel as though they can overcome. So they are projecting their own inadequacies on others. And that's just what it is. So here's what not to do, because what not to do is just as important as what to do. And I got this DM. He says this 30-second read. I'm sending out thousands of cold DMs on Instagram looking for additional clients who need email marketing. I don't have time to send warm DMs. My niche is fitness and I have already prepared over 70 value-heavy emails as well as the demo sales emails and welcome sequences to show I'm capable. Hopefully you need email marketing. Let me know. So a few things. First of all, he must not have even been looking at who he's DMing. He has like some sort of DM machine bot. There's zero personalization. He's saying that he writes for fitness people. I'm not a fitness person. He's wasting his time. He's wasting my time. I'm literally borderline offended. Literally telling me, hey bro, I'm just spamming out cold DMs right now because I don't have time to send out warm DMs. You don't have time to send out warm DMs? So how are you going to have time to actually do the things that I want you to do in my business? My niche is fitness. I have a bajillion emails to show that I'm super good. Hopefully you need email marketing, let me know. Yeah, garbage, trash, terrible. Like people are going to say, oh bro, I tried Instagram DMs already. And they send this and they send this. Again, your competition is plentiful, but not fierce, bro. No business owner is looking at this and going, oh yeah, man, thank goodness this dude reached out because that's definitely something I need right now. Not even a chance, bro. Not even a chance. Now we're going to go over an example of a Loom video for value. So let's check it out. So I'm literally just going to play it and I'm going to speak over it if I see anything interesting.
Hey James, how's it going, man? My name is Tyson and I'm just reaching out to you because, man, as you can see, I've been subscribed to your list for a very long time.
So the first thing I do is I say, hey, I greet him. And then I also right here, I show him that I've been subscribed to his list for a very long time. I literally show it on screen here. Now with Loom, literally it's just a video recording and it automatically records your webcam in the bubble right there. It's really easy.
As you can see, all the way back in 2022. So it's the Stone Age essentially. And I wanted to make this quick video for you, just going over your email, because I myself am a digital marketer who specializes in done-for-you marketing systems just like email.
So notice, I usually don't like to say I'm a copywriter or advertise copywriter because copywriter, it is a skill that is useful, but there are a lot of people calling themselves copywriters when they are not. They're simply just people who are starting out. There are certain people that give copywriting a bad name. I'll leave it at that. So I say that I'm a digital marketer. I might say that I'm someone who specializes in direct response copywriting, things that differentiate myself, right? It's almost like giving yourself a unique mechanism. So in this specific example, I say that I am a digital digital marketer who specializes in done-for-you marketing services, just like email marketing.
And there's a few things with your email list that I want to point out to you because you could definitely be losing money with them. So first and foremost, so this is all of your emails. As you can see, a few of your emails have also been landing in my promotions tab.
So I essentially show that his emails have been landing in my promotions tab. I didn't go over it quite yet, but this is due to deliverability. Deliverability is essentially your ability to land in somebody's inbox and they get notified when you email them. So if he's landing in my promotions, and that's a part of his email marketing, that can be fixed.
Which we could also fix, but there's also something else that I wanted to talk about.
So I just touched on that for like 2 seconds, and then I'm going on to another way that he can actually increase his email marketing deliverability or his email marketing effectiveness just in general.
See, in this particular video right now, that could be very easily and simply addressed. So when we go over here to your beginning emails in the beginning of your sequence, there's something that I wanted to point out. And essentially, it's the way that this testimonial email is done. Now, testimonial emails, as you know, because you have it on your email list, is a great way to actually shift people's beliefs and to get them to see you as the authority. Because
so essentially, when you're doing Loom videos and when you're giving people critiques and constructive criticism, you need to give them a compliment sandwich. You need to give them something that they did well. You need to show them that you understand they are the master, they are the top dog, but you also need to come up with another critique, so another way that they can improve. And then you want to end it off with probably some more ways that you're going to point out how they actually did something right. Now notice that this Loom video is a little bit long. I did that purposefully so that you have more things to go off of. So I came at different angles here. I brought up different things so that you can essentially just like pick one of them and you can go with that. Your Loom video should be like 3 minutes maximum.
Because you're not someone now who's just playing the claim game and saying you can make 100,000 and how does it actually help people do it? You actually help people do it. But the way in which you actually structure the story and the testimonial email is also very, very important. So as you can see here, I'm just going to go through a couple of lines and read this and share this with you. And then I'm going to tell you exactly what I would change and why I would change it and show you some of the results that I've been able to get my clients just with a few small story emails. So
notice I also reference my past clients and my past experience and how I've been able to make money for them, because again, this is cost narration and I'm building up my own authority and showing that there is a reason behind what I know, rather than just saying, you should do this, it will get you more sales because they're going to think this and you're going to do this and they're going to think this. Instead, you want to say, I've been responsible for this. I worked for these big names. This is what they've said about me. These are some other people who are using the exact same strategies that I'm showing you right now. And this is what you're going to want to do. And that's why.
So, hey Tyson, if you ever feel like you can't possibly take on any more in your business where you want to help people, but you're already maxed out and sacrificing time with your family and friends, chances are you can relate to Amber. When I first met Amber, she was completely booked with one-on-one clients. And while her clients were getting amazing results, his mom of 4 was burnt out. Sound familiar? She knew she couldn't take on any more clients without giving up more time with her family and friends, even though she wanted to continue to impact even more lives. So she asked her magic question, what the heck do I do to scale this thing? She knew launching was her next move, but she wasn't quite sure how to fit all the pieces together. Sound familiar? And yet in 6 months, Amber went from burnt out and struggling launches to having a 125K launch. The best part, she's no longer having to choose between building her business and spending time with her loved ones. She has a scalable business that's giving her more time to do what she loves without having a time limit, the number on the people that she can help. Okay, so good email, but there's definitely a few pointers that we could add. So here's essentially how I conduct the perfect story.
So what I did in this particular Loom video is I crafted a resource to discuss what I'm talking about. So you don't have to do this, but this is something that I find keeps me a lot more organized. And that's very, very important in a Loom video, is to stay highly organized. Because if you're disorganized, you're going to be thinking, you're going to be going, where do I go? What was I going to say again? The third thing is, damn, I forget. And that does not look good at all. Now you can go back and edit your Loom videos. In this one, I just did one way through. And that's why there's still some pauses. There's still some thinking and stuff, but you can like edit your Loom videos and they shouldn't really take you that long. And this is also a resource that I could use for any Loom video that I ever make. So I call this the perfect story email and I add some steps on how to do it. And then at the end, I believe I leave an example.
For email, now this is a resource that I basically created for myself to kind of just look back to every time I'm creating a story. So the first thing is to write to the problem. You definitely did that in the beginning. You really did.
So yeah, what I do here is I essentially go to my resource and I match it up with what he's doing. And I see if there's what the commonalities are, but also what the things are in there that could be better.
Problem. You introduce the student, and then the other thing, so the main thing I would do is talk about where the student is now and her big result. Now, your big result is in the subject line, but you want to have your big results in the beginning of the email too. And it adds what's called a what's in it for me with copywriting. Now, you usually want to have a what's in for me or a big result in the beginning. So essentially how this would look is talk about how she was completely burnt out. 6 months later though, she was making 125K and actually working less hours than she was when she was working 10K. And I'm about to show you how. And then you go back to because, and then you go back to the problem and the agitate, and you talk about how the problem was actually showing up in her life. On top of that, we would bridge the gap, right? So this is called a story gap email, and that's kind of the structure of it.
So this is basically just me telling him how to create banger stories.
Then you relate back to the dream state at the end and give a CTA to learn more. Now, the other big thing about the email that I just wrote is that it is retelling the story rather than reliving the story. Now, it's not a terrible offender, but it could still be better. So this is essentially the example that I always go to. And this is something that I got from...
Honestly, this is just some fire copywriting value. So you should probably be taking notes on this very Loom video as well.
Another person's email list that was very, very influential, right? He has a huge business, 9 figures. So usually people tell a story like this.
Again, that was borrowed authority because I said, here's an example that I got from a huge 9-figure business in their emails.
I was working really hard on my 9 to 5. Super long hours, low pay, no chance of promotion. So I started my online business, right? Whereas reliving the story looks like this. One day I worked hard labor until my back was throbbing in pain. I was only 20, but felt the aches and pains of a 59-year-old with arthritis. All for my boss to tell me at the end of the day, guys, if we keep up at this rate, we'll get behind on schedule. You need to work harder. That's when I knew I couldn't take it anymore, and I decided I'm starting my business today. So these types of stories just create a whole lot more engagement, entertainment. It gets people invested in the story, and it just brings out a lot more emotion. And by using and structuring my stories like this, I've been able to get my clients very good results. This is one of my clients.
So again, I'm using my experience in my outreach. Super important to do. And this is going to help you get more people to actually see your Loom videos, more people to reply to them, and of course, get you way more opportunities. And yes, so there's like 1,000,001 different ways to do a Loom video. If someone tells you the craziest thing like, bro, Loom videos are oversaturated, that just means, dude, your Loom videos suck. It's really funny because the people who say Loom videos don't work, I look at their Loom video and it's awful. Like they go like 2 minutes and they basically didn't even say anything. This is essentially what they do. This is what most people do. You're probably realizing a common theme is that when people say something doesn't work, it doesn't work because they're not doing it very well. That's basically it. If you do it super well, like I'm showing you right here, dude, big things happen.
After the first email that I sent to his list, he said, bro, I just knew it. Your email was sent out and I got mad responses with people wanting to sign up. On top of that, I also have a couple other people that I've actually helped grow their email list. I won't get into it right now. It's something we can talk about later. But yeah, I just wanted to point those few things out to you. I mean, I have tons more ideas, tons more ways out.
And at the end, the CTA is essentially, those are some ways that you could improve your email list. But I also have more things and more suggestions that I could give, more strategies that I've implemented before to get my clients results that I can get you results with as well. So essentially here, I'm giving intrigue because he's knowing that I have even more stuff that he could watch. That's essentially what I did. Now, again, should you copy everything I just did word for word? No, of course not. But what you should do is take inspiration from the video that I just showed you. Also, there's like even more Loom videos inside of the free copy starter kit. That's a resource that you guys are going to need to consume like all the way through because the amount of examples and stuff in there is just insane. So here's another example of a Loom video that I did. Now I actually did a video about this called Watch Me Close 3K per month copywriting clients, something like that. And in the Loom video, I essentially came across this dude's page and I was talking about some ways that he can improve it. As you can see, dude, this page is literally like white background, really small and overly simplistic and vague headline, and then some text, and then the start now button. And it's absolutely, brother,
What's that? What's that, brother?
I have no idea, bro. Honestly, it's terrible. So what I did, I provided proof, and I provided proof critique by using a heat tracking software called expose.io. So all the red and deep red parts are essentially where your eyes would go when you land on the page. As you can see, where people's eyes go first is on his face and on start now. When people see a start now button, they're not going to click it because they don't know what is inside. So by being able to track where people's eyes go, you're going to be able to best structure your page. Because if your page is structured like this and there's no one spot people should be looking, like your headline is where people should be looking first. So I created this for him. I also put it through the exact same software, and you could obviously tell that the headline was what everybody looks at first. And the headline is way better. It says, in the next 10 minutes, you're about to discover the copy and paste strategy that people all around the world are using to make over $1,000 a day with affiliate marketing. No experience required. Click below to find out how. And this is the opt-in page. This is the opt-in page I made him. This is the one that he had. Mine's way better, as you can see. And I made a Loom video about it and I sent it to him. And that's basically it. So I created him a brand new resource. I created him some free value. I also created a video of the free value and sent it over. So I sent all that over. I said, look what I can do. Look at how good I am. Now, again, a couple things to note. It really does come down to skills. Now you're really being able to see, okay, damn, if I get really good at my skills and do everything that Tyson shows me, especially in the secondary skills department or the secondary skill section of the video, dude, I'm going to be unstoppable. Pro tip, after creating one of the highest viewed copywriting videos ever on YouTube, literally one of the highest viewed videos on YouTube with the word copywriting in the title, I've learned one thing above all else. It's not about overall minutes of value. It's about how much value per minute. It took 7 hours of content and I uploaded the best 4 hours. That's why it went viral. That's why my video got over 1.6 million views at the time of this recording, probably much more by the time you're watching this right now. Even this video, I mean, who knows? But you're watching this right now and you can tell I'm not talking about any fluff. I'm not belaboring any points. I'm not doing anything unnecessarily. Everything in here is densely packed with value, yet it's still so much. So you got to do the same thing for your clients. That's why you sitting there making like a 10 or 20 minute Loom video is not going to be valuable to them. What's valuable to them is a resource that you've built them, something that you've made for them really, really short, and you're actually presenting it yourself. Also, guys, I wanted to quickly touch on this. A lot of you guys probably aren't going to be that good on camera because talking to a camera is weird. Talking to an inanimate object, it does not come natural to most people. This is something that I had to work on as well. Now you see me on camera and I'm charismatic, I'm articulate, I can say things just fine. Like it looks like I've been on camera and like I'm a natural at it, but that's far from the truth. I was worse on camera than you could probably even imagine. After creating hundreds of YouTube videos, guess what happens? You get good at it. So again, put in your reps, dude. Put in your reps. Don't say, well, I'm not good at this. I can't do this. It all is a skill. If you're serious about this and you actually want to make the money and you actually want to have the results, dude, it all comes down to, are you willing to pay the price? It's not some passive income scheme, some way that you can magically make money online. No, I'm going to be completely honest. It's not like that. But it's a way that if you work hard and if you love a challenge and if you are into actually building skills and getting better, this is a way that you can make an absorbent amount of money in a pretty short amount of time, relative. So some free email sequence examples. So I'm going to open this up. Essentially, it is exactly what it sounds like. What I did was I told them exactly what it is at the beginning. So this email sample pack contains 3 separate emails that showcase what I write in order to nurture and convert more leads in Ravi's funnel in order to make more bottom line profit for scaling with systems. So his business right there, his name right there, and inside I literally just have 3 emails. That's essentially it. Just 3 emails. Again, if you want to check everything out inside of this, you can go check it out yourself. But I mean, dude, it's just 3 emails. Yeah, as you can see, email 1, and I write the email. Email 2, I write the email. It's a promotions email. And number 3, I write the email, and it's a story email. So they're different types of emails, but essentially they're just an email nonetheless. So oftentimes, whenever you're outreaching to people, you could say, hey, I created this 3 email sequence for your email list. I noticed that you have one, you're sending out emails. I wanted to send you over these emails to see if there's something that you would use on your list. That's basically it. And when you send them over, they're going to say, wow, these emails are great, just like Jay did, the example that I just showed you. And then you're going to get the client. So again, being good at copywriting, that's the cheat code. That's the game. So a free sales page example. This was big. So as you can see here, I literally just created a template sales page. The words on the page are literally words that I just came up with off the top of my head. They are just placeholders. So what you're going to do is create the headline right here. This stuff is so that they can better conceptualize what the sales page would look like. And then you go scroll stopper and then text, and then scroll stopper and then text. Remember, we went through this, and scroll stopper, then text. Now, again, this is formatting it so that it looks like it's an actual sales page inside the Google document. So that, again, it looks like you put as much effort in as possible. That's another template you guys get inside of the, of course, free copy starter kit. So now we need to talk about how to follow up. Because let's say you've given your value or you've agreed to a call, but they're still leaving you unseen, or they've gone cold, or they leave you on red, which happens a lot of the times. But first, we need to talk about the IMC framework if we're going to properly understand how to follow up with people. So the IMC framework goes like this. It is essentially a cycle. So what happens? Incident. It starts with an incident, and then it gets people to search, and it gives people motivation. So I'll explain this. When somebody signs up to a list, let's say they sign up to a list on how to lose weight. They're not just like, hanging out, watching some Netflix, or they're just like hanging out with their friends and they're like, you know what? I should join an email list on how to lose weight. That's not how it goes. What happens is they step on the scale for the first time in 6 months and they realize, holy crap, I didn't know I was that heavy. That's the incident that causes the motivation. Motivation is caused by an incident. Or let's say they're out shopping and they put on a large, and usually larges fit them just fine. But this time he put on a large and he got so big that his gut was hanging down below his shirt. That's an incident where he's like, oh man, I gotta fix something. Or let's say he's hanging out with a bunch of his buddies and they won't stop roasting him for being overweight. And it's starting to really get to him. And that's when he said enough is enough and he had the motivation. That's what the incident is. The incident is the one straw that broke the camel's back, where people say enough is enough and it gets them into motivation. And motivation leads to action. But what happens is that after action comes complacency, because they've reached a level of resistance. So they get motivated to do something, get motivated to lose weight. They take action towards it, but then they start to get complacent because they run into resistance, right? They said they're going to cut their calories. They did cut their calories, but then they get hungry. So they cheat once in a while on their cheat meals, on their diet, and they start eating more calories. And eventually they forget about it. They say it didn't work, forget it. And they go back to complacency. And then another incident happens, and then the cycle starts again. And another incident happens, and the cycle starts again. Okay, why am I telling you this? Two main reasons, actually. One, this is why email copywriting and email marketing is so effective, because you have a chance to just keep outreaching to people over email. And depending on what incidents happened, and if they're in a motivation stage, they're going to take action and actually buy, because you're just outreaching to them, or you're just sending them that email at the right time. It's the same with outreach and getting clients. People are going to say, yes, they want to work with you, or they're going to say, yeah, this is awesome. And you're going to get them into a warm lead, but they're going to go cold because, again, they've gotten complacent. They're like, yeah, I should do that, but not right now. I've seen this and heard this so many different times. You guys are going to get so many maybes. It's going to be insane. That's exactly what I went through. A whole bunch of maybes. People saying, yeah, but not right now, or I don't know if we really need this at the moment, that sort of thing. So they get complacent. But mark my words, there will be an incident where they will want to work with you. Okay, if they've already said they wanted to work with you or said yes to your value at all, then there's somebody who's susceptible to your marketing, susceptible to becoming your client. So that person is your client in the future. That is literally what you have to do step for step, the right time. And yes, they might go cold on you, but here's the other thing, dude. It has so many copywriters give up. They give up when somebody says no. Did you guys not just see the DMs that I showed you? Did you see how long I was following up for? I didn't stop following up. People literally said no. A few months later, they were my client, paying me $3,000 per month. Isn't that funny? That's how life is. That's how copywriting is. And that's how getting clients is. Let's look at exactly how to follow up. Top of mind, why follow-up is so important. Another thing to think about. This is why big brands like Coca-Cola, and McDonald's have some of the biggest marketing budgets of all time. Yet everyone already knows who they are. Think about that. Why does McDonald's advertise so much when everybody already knows what McDonald's is? There will come a time where your client experiences a pain point and wants to optimize their business. And when they do, you have to be the one they think of first. The reason why McDonald's still advertises is because they're looking for that, again, incident. That incident could be you're driving down the street, you're super hungry. You're like, man, I don't want to go home and make food. I just want something quick. What's something quick? It's something that's close. You see those big golden arches. You're like, that wouldn't be too bad. And then you just find McDonald's and you go in. That's basically it. They just want to be at the right place in the right time. It has nothing to do with if you know them or not. It's the same with your outreach. You have to be in the right place at the right time. That's it. And it can change your life forever. So how do we follow up? So you send your opening message. And if you don't get a reply, let's say, you send a quick bump 3 days later. Hey, just wondering if you saw this. So this is what it looks like through email. If I was emailing somebody and they didn't reply, I would say, hey, just wondering if you saw this, or just bumping this up in your inbox in case it got buried. That's one thing that I want to do. And that's the only time I want to do that exact thing. If you still get no reply, try another angle. So if the first one was like a funny, witty, silly email, the second email will be 2 or 3 days later. And I'll say, hey, I'm just bumping this up. And then the third email will be another 2 or 3 days later if they still don't reply, and I'll come at it from another angle. So I won't be funny. Maybe I'll be more serious, or maybe I won't offer them the value that I offered them before. If I said, here's the 3 email sequence, maybe I'll say, hey, I created a Loom video about your funnel. So come up with different angles every single time. If this happens and they still don't get 0 reply, then you move on. Here's another thing. It's so much easier to get someone from a maybe to a yes than to get someone from a no to a maybe than to a yes. So focus on the low-hanging fruit. If someone is just completely cold and they've never replied to you yet, then move on. If someone says no, just straight up no, we don't want you, or we already have somebody, circle back, meaning leave them alone for at least 1 month and then circle back with them later. If a reply to consume your value is sent, meaning, hey man, I created this value, do you want to check it out? And they say yes, but you're ghosted later on in the conversation, follow up from a different angle next time. Keep offering them value and circling back every few days/weeks until they eventually hire you. These people can be classified as warm leads. So again, if they say yes, now they're a warm lead. And if they're a warm lead, you never let them off the hook. You never stop following up with them. I can't stress this enough. This is why people don't get clients, dude. It's because they're outreaching to people. They're not following up. They take no for an answer. Someone ghosts them or goes cold on them. And then like, oh man, this copywriting thing, bro, it just doesn't work. It's just funny because I see it all the time. Yet when I actually finally cracked outreach, I was like, holy crap, dude, this is so much easier than how I've been doing it in the beginning. Because when I started, dude, again, didn't have any Tyson 4D. I joined a copywriting course and I'm telling you right now, it left a lot to be desired. I'll just leave it like that. Universal rule number 1, quality is more important than quantity. And universal rule number 2, to learn quality, you must first produce quantity. I don't know about you guys, but this guy is spitting. Okay, so quality over quantity all the time. So when you're creating these pieces of value for your potential clients, you want them to be as high quality as possible. But the way that you actually learn how to make things high quality is you have to make a lot of them. If you create 100 emails, by your 101st email, that's going to be so much higher quality than the best email you could ever make, but it's your very first email. Needless to say, you guys should be producing a lot of stuff. Allow me to demonstrate how outreach works step by step. Okay, everybody. So here I am on Instagram and I scrolled for like 2 seconds and I came across an ad. I don't know what it is. I am AI. Start your AI agency, deal.ai. It looks interesting. It has 500,000 likes. So this dude's running ads to this. So I'm going to check out his profile. He has over 500,000 followers. This is someone that I would reach out to or somebody on his team. But essentially, so I know this is a good prospect. I know this is a guy who is a founder / CEO of deal.ai. He's a business owner and essentially he owns what looks like a software. Awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this little button right here and I'm going to look at all these other guys. This guy has 10,000 followers, a lot less people following him. But again, that just means that he has possibility to answer your message a lot more because the people with hundreds of thousands of followers, they're a lot less likely to answer your message or even see it. So concierge of PR, manage publicity for clients, 7-figure business owner. Okay. 7-figure business owner. As you can see here, he has a website and an offer. Okay. Influencing purchasing decisions at scale. Looks good to me. He has 10,000 followers. He has decent engagement on his stuff. I would say outreach to him. And in his bio, he literally says that he's a 7-figure business owner. So he's making over $1 million per year. So again, I would say outreach to him. So what I'm going to do again is click on that little button and go to the next guy. This guy has 90,000 followers, father, investor, car fanatic, makemoneymatter.org. Looks like he's a creator. He also has decent views. This is another guy I would outreach to. And then I'm going to go over here. And I'm going to go to the next guy, helping you grow your business and passive income, $60 million in revenue, investor, how to grow your wealth. He has a link down here. Again, another guy that I would outreach to, WW Prosperity Summit. Anyways, I don't know what it is. If I was actually outreaching to these people, I would spend a little bit more time qualifying them. But again, I'm going through and demonstrating. So what would I do here? So for this dude, he doesn't have a story up right now. And he also doesn't have highlights. So he doesn't have anything I can just straight up reply to. So what I would do is I would go to one of his things, like this one, for example. I would send it to him as a reply and I would either say something that's super relatable or just say something or ask a question about it. That's all I would say. Or I would just go to him and I would just send him a straight DM where I go to one of his old posts, like one of these ones back here or something. I would just read it. I would consume it. And then I would DM him, hey man, I just wanted to reach out to say, I really liked how you XYZ. I really liked how you did this. I really liked how you did that. And then I would end it off with a very simple and short question. Again. Okay, so I got to a guy and this dude does not look like a business owner. He does not look like somebody that I would like to outreach to because he only has 1,600 followers. All I would do is go back and go to the next. Julie Chanel. Here's another girl and she's a business owner. And that's how I would go through and go through suggestion and suggestion and suggestion. Again, if I just scroll again, scroll. Here's another dude who has a business, 1,400 followers. My best CS trainings for free. He looks a little small, so I might outreach to him. I might not. I personally would skip. Might be worth trying to outreach to if he's your very first potential client. And then you're going to come across something like this. So when you actually click on all these profiles, Instagram will notice and it will be like, okay, you're super susceptible to advertisements right now. So they're going to send you a bunch. So I'll go to this one, auditor.ai. This guy's still pretty small. What about this guy? He's still decently small, but he's followed by some pretty big brands. He has 3,000 followers, so maybe it's not the worst. You go to this guy over here, No Limits CEO. Boom. This guy has 66,000 and he made over $100,000 in 30 days. So bam. And again, I mean, guys, all this stuff is, I found probably 5 or 6 potential clients in like 30 seconds because I scrolled and I clicked on some ads and that's it. So as you can see here, we're now on YouTube. And what I did was I simply searched up how to run ads. Why? Because this is going to give me like agencies and business to business owners. So I see a couple top channels here. The thing with the very, very top channels is they're going to be super popular. So not the best to outreach to. Yeah, I'm going to outreach to people who are more mid/smaller. So this guy, for example, I don't think I know who this is. He has 76,000 followers. I go over to his thing, but he doesn't have a link in the description. Also, his other videos look like they're not really about real stuff. So I pass on him, wouldn't go for him. Let's check out this guy. This guy's a super popular dude, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna look at his stuff. He has a free AI store builder. I'm pretty sure he does e-commerce. So that's somebody that I might outreach to. What about this dude? This dude has 200,000 free paid ads PDF, and he has a book. So this is essentially an opt-in page. So this is a guy I would outreach to. As you can see, new book shows the secrets to booking an extra 1 to 3 exterior cleaning jobs a day. Okay, interesting. So what I would do is I would go to his about. So his actually doesn't show his personal email. So then what I would do is I would just figure out another way to do it. I would look him up on Instagram, or I would try to find his LinkedIn and I would use apollo.io. But either in any way, I would still be able to outreach to him just fine. So guys, I'll leave you with that. Those were 2 very, very simple demonstrations of how I'd go about finding clients. Again, it is super, super, super simple. A lot of people get stuck because they overcomplicate things, but understand that confusion leads to complacency. So don't overthink it. Don't get confused. Next, how to look legit online. As you can see, looking legit online is a huge factor in actually getting clients, because once you outreach to them, they're going to want to know who you are. They're going to look at who you are. They're going to see your online profile. And if you look legit, they're going to give you a chance. And if you look even legitter than legit, you have lots of good posts on there. Again, people are going to outreach to you essentially, like you've seen. So guys, this is my Instagram. If you want to go and look at some stuff that I post, here it is. You know, I have some photos here. I have a video of my car, picture of me out shooting, picture of me with a funny filter, more stuff. I have a slide picture down here, some more pictures of me in my car, some pictures from the past, some pictures of me doing cool things. But again, this is basically how you're going to want your Instagram to look. Essentially, what you want your Instagram to say is, I am not a bot and I'm not some basement dweller who just lives in his mom's basement and never sees sunlight or touches grass. So that's basically it. Okay, so you don't want to look like that. And if you're watching this on your laptop and you have your phone handy, you can literally just scan the screen right now to quickly open up the Instagram, give it a follow, and check it out later. So here's how to speedrun your personal brand and build it. So why even a personal brand in the first place? So is it better than a website? People ask me all the time. Tyson, website? No. Instagram? Yes. It builds your know, like, and trust factor. Prospects will check it out even if you ask them to or not. And it also builds your social proof. So another piece of proof that people want to know you. This is my personal student, Andre, and he sent out a cold email. And the guy who he sent the cold email out to said this: I rate your hustle. A few questions. How old are you? Why do you do what you do? Why should I go on a 10-minute call with you? Tell me something random about you. And what country are you from? Answer them honestly and I'll jump on a call with you. Now, this took me by surprise because I was like, wow, look at this. This dude genuinely just wants to get to know him before he hops on a call with him on a deeper level. There's a very common saying in business that goes like this: hire for attitude and not for skill. Because skill is easy. Skill can be taught. Skill is just like you show somebody what to do and they go do it. Like it's really that simple. But attitude is what a lot of people hire for, as you can see. How do we build the personal brand? So personal brand do's and don'ts. Let's keep it super basic from the get-go. 1, upload content from your personal life. That's what we want to do. And you don't want to upload content that is too personal. You drinking out with your buddies, you talking about some girl that you were talking to last night, you just doing something that's just showing stuff that's like too personal and weird. Again, you don't want to do that. You want to look professional. You don't want to show like memes that are like crude. or something, like you want to keep it professional. Next is you want to work on your personal brand regularly, and you don't want to think your personal brand is done and then never touch it again. You want to use proven techniques while adding your own content, and you don't want to copy and paste the examples/templates word for word. So let's go through some more. Here are the top 3 easy personal brand posts that anybody can make. So number 1 is a high value / hobby post. This is my post. It's literally just me with my firearm, just doing some shooting. And I say, working hard on this new outreach method. What do you guys think so far? So it's a picture of me doing something that I like, and the caption is casual. So on your Instagram, like one of the worst things you could do is like have every single post be about like, DM me if you're a business and you want to make 10 times more profit and revenue. I can help you make money. Because again, guys, your profile shouldn't look like one big advertisement at all. It should look like your personal profile. You just happen to help people make a lot more money with your copywriting / email marketing / digital marketing. Next is the talking head reel. So this is just me holding my phone out in front of me and I'm talking about business, or I'm just talking about life or business in general. Possible hooks. So here's something that copywriters mess up on all the time. They make content about copywriting and not about business. My friends, these businesses don't care about copywriting. They don't care about here's the top 5 subject lines. They don't care about here's the PAS formula. They don't care about those things. What they care about is here's how to make more money in your business with copywriting, digital marketing, properly set up landing pages, optimizing your funnel, these things. So some possible hooks. Here's some done for you hooks. Here's how I got XYZ result for my niche client. So here's how I got an extra $20,000 per month with my fitness client. I did this, and I did this, right? I optimized his emails, I recreated his CTAs, and I fixed his sales pages, for example. That's it. If I created a reel like that, and a business comes across my profile, they're watching me talk, they're seeing I'm articulate. They are also seeing that I've gotten results for my past clients. Next, if niche business struggles booking more qualified sales calls or whatever the dream state is or want, in my experience, it has to do with these 2 things. Then you explain and you recap. So what this looks like is, because you're saying in my experience, again, it essentially sounds like, right, you're inferring that you have experience. Even if you haven't worked with a bunch of clients before, if you've written copy, you have experience. So in my experience, copy is written better when it's like this. And again, you can use other people's authority. You can look at some really, really huge marketers and say, well, look at what they say. Look at what they do. So this is what other people should consider doing as well. 3 easiest ways to grow your email list and milk it for every penny it's worth. And then number 1, you do this. Number 2, you do this. Number 3, you do this. Again, realize how these are things that businesses actually want, that businesses can actually understand, not like the things that you're learning in this course. But what I mean by that is if I tell you guys, okay, here's how to write an email. Like you wouldn't create a reel about here's how to write an email because, dude, that is not what business owners want to see. You're creating copywriting content as if you're creating content for copywriters or something. Like it doesn't make any sense. So you want to create content for business owners. Next is a caption-based post. So all I did was I took a photo of me and then I put a testimonial underneath. And then I wrote this. This has to be the best thing to wake up to, LOL. Client went from a dead email list producing 0 leads to booking 10 high-ticket sales calls in 1 email. No tricks, no secret sauce, no wizardry, just some damn good copy. And you can do it too. Just keep improving. You'll be getting voice notes like these from your clients in no time. And then I put comment on how your journey is going. You shouldn't put any CTA like that. Again, that's exactly what it should look like. Just a short caption talking about your past experiences, talking about what you've done before, or talking about some things that, again, business owners can do to make more money and improve with copywriting or email marketing. So comment that someone left on my video. How can we show luxury on our posts if we don't have any cars, watches, etc.? Please tell Tyson. Thank you so much. So this is a common misconception is that I say you should post yourself doing high value activities. And people are like, well, what if I don't have fancy cars or fancy watches? Like, that's not what I'm saying. First of all, dudes have uploaded photos of them with other people's cars or just a random car and been like, this car isn't mine. And they just make a post about a car. Literally, a brand is just association. If you see a guy posted up next to a really nice car and you know it's not his car, still, you're going to subconsciously create that person as a higher value person. And again, we don't complain about the game. We just play the rules of the game. People judge a book by its cover. That's just what it is. So remember what I said, have the best cover and be the best book. That's as simple as it really gets. So as you can see, this is not a luxury post. Also, this is like my cheapest firearm here. This is like a, $400, $500 gun. It only shoots 22 long rifle. So It's very, very small caliber. So it's not one of my best guns. It's not anything super expensive. Anybody could take a photo like this. Even if I didn't have anything in my hands and it was just a good picture of me outside in the wilderness, that's a good hobby post / a high value post. If you're ever on vacation or in a cool spot, take a photo. If you're dressed super nice, let's say you're wearing a suit and tie and you're out having a coffee, dude, take a photo and put it on your Instagram. That stuff looks good. Again, you want the other person to be confident that you're not just some weirdo or basement dweller, or you're not a menace to society, or you're not a gangster or something. If you're sitting down playing chess, like, bro, I don't know about you, but I don't see hoodlums and thugs just hanging out and playing a game of chess. So it just creates a little bit of a better opinion they're going to have of you just because they see you doing high value things, subconsciously associate you with things that are high value. So another pro tip for you guys here, do not be desperate. The goal of your Instagram isn't to attract clients. It's supposed to look like a personal Instagram that you post business stuff on sometimes. Don't look like everyone else. So 2 big things there. Don't look super desperate and don't look like everyone else. Don't have a bunch of CTAs, like call to actions like, please DM me if you need email marketing. Please DM me if you need copywriting. That looks weak. You look weak sauce. You look desperate. Don't do that stuff. Or if you just go on Instagram, look at what every other copywriter is doing. Again, you're going to go through and look and see, wow, these guys have blank, empty profiles and the stuff on there doesn't look very good. Or you're just going to see overall what they look like and you want yours to look different. Again, guys, there are so many different ways to differentiate your outreach. Bro, if I'm outreaching, you and I could outreach to the same person, bro. I promise you I'm getting the client. Why? Instagram looks banging. The value I'm going to send is going to be insane. Like every single part of it is just going to be insane. I've shown you already screenshots of people saying, you know what? I don't usually reply to DMs like this. I don't really usually reply to outreaches like this, but this is just so much value that I'm blown away. So let's work together. If you give them that feeling, dude, it's game over. That's how you get client after client after client. I was to the point where I knew for a fact I could get on a sales call every single week. Every single week consistently without fail, I could get on a sales call. Done. And eventually you're going to get in the same position. What's going on, everybody? I hope you are locked and loaded and ready to get back into the free mega course. Man, I like those gun intros, man. I gotta get more guns to do more gun intros because, bro, editor just makes them look fire. All right, everybody, as we were saying, we just got finished with a pro tip, and now we are going to move on to the most frequently asked questions. So you probably left some of these questions in the comments already, no worries. And if these questions actually lead you to more questions, then by all means, you can feel free to, again, go ahead and ask them in the comments. So, okay, so number one, how do I accept payment? Okay, this is a big one. So there are plenty of tools out there. The one that I use is Stripe. And yes, you might be in some sort of third world country or European country where a lot of these are hard to come by or they don't work for you or they're not available for you. Okay, so I'll give you some alternatives. So Stripe, PayPal, those are the big ones. There's also things like Payoneer. Okay, it's called Payoneer, Payoneer. There's also Wise, Wise. Those are the main ones that pretty much everybody uses. If none of those work for you, you got to figure something out. It's not really a me thing. Like I can't really give you every single payment thing in the world. Like you're going to have to do some research and figure out some ways, but usually there is something. Okay, I've paid people from some pretty crazy countries before that I didn't even know existed. So there's some way for you to accept cash. Next, how much should I charge? Now, I considered creating like kind of like a whole slide about this, but it's really not that deep, guys. At first, you're going to want to charge a smaller amount. If it's your very first client, I usually say you want to create some sort of LRO, a low risk offer. This is something like a free trial period. There's a difference from working for free and working for a free trial period. So a free trial period is like 1 week, 2 week, basically that. You don't really want to go a month because then they're going to get used to not paying you. So 1 week, 2 week, a month, if you really care that much, if you really want to, that's for the free trial period. There's also commission-based. Some people like commission-based because it makes them feel as though, okay, well, I don't actually have to pay this dude anything until money starts coming in. So it's another way to kind of defer payment and decrease the risk on their end. And then there's also a small one-time project. So I do this one a lot. As you can see with some of my outreaches that I showed you guys, I do like $300 to start, $400 to start, just for a couple emails, and then we'll see if we're a good fit to work together. That's a great angle to go for. And then past that, man, it really does come down to the offer. Like, what are they offering you? Or if they want you to do something like daily emails, it's going to take you a month to do. There's no reason why you can't negotiate eventually $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for that. It's not really that deep as much a lot of people think. Like, as for like typical rates per email is like $100 to $200 per email. Some people even do $250 or more. Sales page is like $1,000, $1,500, even $2,000 plus, and so on and so forth. So hopefully that kind of gives you a little bit more insight on how much you should charge. What happens after the sales call? I get this question a lot. Honestly, not sure why, because I remember what it's like to be a beginner vividly? And I don't think that this question ran through my mind. What do I do after the sales call? I mean, it probably depends on what you guys agreed upon and what you should be working on. But my best guess is that you should probably start working on the things that you discussed on the sales call. Maybe there's something deeper to that question I don't really understand. If you have any more specific questions, because remember, the better your questions, the better your answer will be. So you know where to go to ask those down in the comments. How do we book calls with prospects? That is with Calendly. So it kind of is spelled like calendar, but instead of der, it's Lee. Calendly. And here you're going to be able to set your hours. So if you're available from like, let's say 6 a.m. till 9 a.m., then you can set that on your Calendly, and then they're going to be able to pick the times that work for them. This way, it's a lot easier than like, hey man, what time zone are you in? Are you free on 7 a.m. on Friday? No, I can't do 7 a.m. on Friday. Let's do Thursday at 4 p.m. Like, dude, that just adds so much friction to the call. I'm telling you, you want to download and use Calendly instead. Next, how does the email marketing software work? / how do we send the emails? So once we have this client and we're writing the emails for them, what does the delivery look like? Do I write the emails in a document? Do I create it in some sort of software and send it out to their list? How does that work? Well, we're going to go more into the email marketing software in the secondary skill portion. I'll literally be taking you through my own software and giving you a look into what that looks like, where to find things. Every software is going to be different, but yes, I'm going to show you exactly how to send with the software, how to use the software. But essentially, yes, their whole email list is on a software, and they can send either broadcast emails, which means just an email to their whole list or just to part of the list all at once. They can schedule these broadcast emails, or they can create an email automation, which essentially, and we're going to go a lot deeper into this, but essentially it automatically sends them based on when they signed up or based on when they took an action. So if they, let's say, bought a product, then they're going to get an automatic email right after. Or if they sign up to a free newsletter, then they're going to get automatic emails 1 day, 4 days, 7 days after they sign up. And whether you actually create the emails and send them out in their software or not, or just send over the copy, again, it's up to you and the client. That's where a lot of your questions are going to be answered. Again, you're not going to know and be able to script out every single conversation before you get paid or before you have your first client. So I've done work for some clients where I send it over in a Google document, and I've done work for some clients where I manage their whole email list. Okay, email list management is, again, another upsell that you can actually give them, and we're going to go really deep into that. I actually just finished up writing most of the secondary skills portion, and man, I can't believe it's giving this out for free, dude. Like, literally, mentors are charging at least $5,000 for this. It's nuts. So we're just gonna get right into it. If you still have any questions, ask in the comment section. Don't be shy. I reply. I want to finish this off by giving you guys a few things that I've learned after coaching thousands of copywriters. First and foremost, most people don't bother outreaching consistently over long periods of time. 99% of people are not even going to finish the video, proven by the statistics given to us by YouTube. So 99% of people literally can't even sit there and finish learning. So that's 1%. You're in the top 1% literally if you've just watched it. Furthermore, you're in the top percent if you just watched it. Out of that 1%, probably about another 1% of that 1% goes and actually writes their first piece of copy. Probably 1% of that 1% of that 1% probably does their first outreach and starts outreaching consistently over even just a month. So you have to realize that with anything, whether it's drop shipping, day trading, literally anything in the world, even like things that aren't money making related. Like, think of how many people buy a gym membership and then don't go to the gym. They have intentions, but it doesn't matter, bro. You can have literally tons and tons and tons of attention, but it doesn't matter unless you actually take some action. Next is that habits must be implemented before they can be optimized. So this is super important. Dude, start sloppy. Start sloppy. Give yourself permission to suck. Habits must be implemented before they can be optimized. So don't come out here and try to have this optimized outreach game where I'm going to outreach to 100 people per day and they're all going to be perfect business owners and all my outreach is going to be perfect. And I'm going to track perfectly because it's going to be foreign to you. So even if for 1 hour a day, you just start outreaching, dude, just do it. This is like, I tell people when they're trying to get their fitness right, when they're trying to build that muscle, dude, just do like 3 push-ups a day. People are like, with 3 push-ups a day, that's not going to help my chest. No, of course it's not going to help your chest, dummy. You're not going to reach hypertrophy like that, but you are creating the habit. Just because you're putting the habit into your day, now after that, the habit can be optimized. Maybe next day you start with 20. Maybe then you start doing 30 and so on and so forth. And then you start doing a whole workout because you have it planned out in your day because the habit has been implemented before it can be optimized next. Copywriters who focus on nurturing warm leads wins. I can't stress this enough. Copywriters who focus on nurturing warm leads. You know what most copywriters do? We just discussed that. Most copywriters don't even finish a video, but the ones who are actually outreaching, most of them get a warm lead. So somebody who says yes to looking at their stuff and then they get ghosted and then they just never outreach to that person again. Or when someone says, yeah, we already have somebody for that, for example, they never outreach again. It's like, bro, first of all, if someone says they already have somebody, that already have a copywriter, dude, that's almost one of the best replies that you can ever have, because you know what? That copywriter's got your client, bro. Eventually, they're going to either move up in the company, they're going to either be head of copywriting and need more copywriters, they're going to not work out because the copywriter isn't as good as they say they are, or they're going to not work out because the copywriter doesn't want to work for that particular business because for some reason they don't get along. Copywriters don't just sit in the same position forever. This really makes me laugh because some people are like, dude, this niche is oversaturated or copywriting is oversaturated. Every business already has a copywriter. Let's just make simple math. 1 million businesses with 1 million copywriters. Do you think that there's going to be one opportunity out there, maybe one per day, with 365 days in a year, 1 million businesses with 1 million copywriters? Bro, one of them is going to move on to a different position. They're going to become the CMO. One of them is going to just quit. Some of them are going to get fired. It's literally inevitable that there are going to be openings. It doesn't make any sense, this line of thinking. Okay. So that's all I have to say about that. Next is you should sign up to tons of email lists so that you can gather swipe while also looking for things that can be improved. So again, create a new Gmail address, sign up to a whole bunch of marketing emails by downloading their free stuff or putting your email into their newsletter or buying things that you genuinely want to buy for like $7 to $27 or $57 or whatever it is, online product. And dude, just get on their list and see what they send to you. Because sometimes it's good. And if it's good, you can take inspiration from it. If it's bad, you can outreach to them and say, hey, I can make this better. Okay. So it's literally a win-win-win-win-win-win-win. So because I know I'm already going to get asked this every single time I bring up the facts that I have one-to-one students, my question is, you mentioned you have students. How does one enroll to be your student? I would really like to be successful at this. Well, it's definitely the most successful or the best way to become a successful copywriter is to have a mentor. If you want to be one of my students, the link to that is down below in the description, the one-to-one mentorship. Some people are looking for it. Some people aren't. If you aren't looking for it, dude, it's no worries. You can still win. No big deal. But if you are looking for it, again, that's down below in the description.